pastor who grew a church into one of the largest congregations in the state, now a small business owner turned politician. Olu Brown taking his campaign for governor across Georgia to get his name out there to voters. He says also to make sure some of those people who don't get attention outside of Election Day get to have their voices heard.
People are excited just to see you show up. And then when you return a second or a third time, they just think, oh my goodness, what's happening here? Because in South Georgia and coastal Georgia, folks feel overlooked, they feel devalued, and they don't necessarily think people are concerned about them outside of election season. So we're changing that. We can look at the level of entry for Medicaid and make the level of entry so more Georgians have access to Medicaid. And number two, we can expand the services for Medicaid, in particular in places that are South Georgia, rural Georgia, and in many of our smaller towns. A lot of communities need mobile health care. But we all need in Georgia more preventive health care because it's a lot cheaper to keep you healthy than it is to take care of you when you have a chronic illness. So we're going to look at all different aspects of expanding healthcare access and affordability. I'm blessed to have two daughters, one 21, one 20. And I don't want any person in the General Assembly in Atlanta, Georgia, telling them what to do with their bodies. They don't have the right. This is a democracy. This is the United States of America. We are born free and we should live free. And as governor, I want to protect the freedoms of all people, especially the freedoms of women. We also have to address our compensation for educators. I remember watching my mother sit on a couch when I was a kid with a checkbook in her hand in tears because she was crying. She had 2 degrees. She had an undergraduate degree, she had a master's degree, and she was an elementary school teacher her entire life, and she couldn't afford to raise 3 kids. I never want any educator in Georgia to do what they love and not be able to afford to live. I believe if we say our children are our future and our educators are with them, oftentimes more than their parents, we ought to compensate them according to their value. I'm one of the few who has ever built something from the ground up and then scaled it to the next level. Most of the candidates have managed things that have already been built. And so when you talk about small business ownership, it's people who go to sleep with a dream and they wake up and they make it happen. As a small business owner, I will be champion #1 for small business owners in Georgia. Most people don't know that a great majority of the businesses in Georgia aren't our Fortune 500 companies, but there are small businesses, people who have a dream and they try their very best to make it happen every single day. And it's one of the hardest dreams to make come true. But if you've got a governor who is helping to support you with resources and technical assistance and all of the things that small business owners need in our state, I think we can continue to grow and scale small business ownership. We can encourage it. The tariff policies that we've seen has been additional taxation on states, but in particular small businesses. So one, we've got to have a courageous governor who is willing to tell Washington enough is enough. Secondly, we've got to find some creative ways to resource business owners who are experiencing higher product costs because of tariffs that are coming from Washington that are often unnecessary and really do more harm to small businesses. We want to continue to encourage businesses from around the country and around the world, but we also want to hold those businesses accountable to say, in Georgia, we're pushing towards a living wage. It may not happen in 2027, it may not happen in 2028, but if you want to do business in Georgia, this is the vision that we have, not only to be the best place to do business, but it is also the best place to work in the country.
We have more of our political interviews as well as a full breakdown of all the candidates for governor and senator in both Georgia and South Carolina on our website. Just go to WSAV.com/electionhq.